Hello everyone, this is Randolph Parker. When you first enter into my home lab, you will find my workstation here. Here's my computer, my laptop, where I do all my studying, coding, reading my books. Then as you pan to the right, you see my little workup board, chalkboard, and then my first bench is my RF audio bench. This is where I do my prototyping, my teaching, RF and audio equipment. I have various test equipment on the bench, as you can see. I have 3 power supplies. 2 of them are cascaded together to get plus or minus 12, 15 volts for op amps. I have a frequency generator. I have a bench multimeter, which I love. I have a RF frequency counter. Have a Huntron, an AC, a millivolt meter, spectrum analyzer, oscilloscope, 4-channel signaling, as you can see. Another power supply. I have my digital microscope here. So this is my bench where I do all my prototyping, where I do all my teaching, RF and audio. And as you pan to the right, I have a shelf of test equipment. Again, this is power supplies, 50 megahertz, 50 amps and 100 amps. I have another AC millivolt meter and another counter, frequency counter, another oscilloscope. I have an old school WaveTech audio generator, which I love. Then you pan down. I have a auto isolate transformer. I have a AC isolation transformer. Have a Regal low box. Have a power supply up to 60 volts, 30 amps. Output 1,200 watts. Have another auto transformer, as you can see. As you go down to the shelf at the bottom, I have all my hand measuring devices that I use. Here I have some Craftsman tool bag, fully loaded Craftsman. Some other stuff here, magnifying glass. As you go up top, I have another. This is where I have a low bank, some breadboards, some other bags. Klein. Have another tool bag. I like. This is a Klein tool. I don't really need this. I like having these bags. As you pan down to the right, this is my solder station. I have a large digital microscope here where I do my solder work, solder exhaust, hand solder here, various chemicals, flux, alcohol. Here, desoldering station. Then over here, I have another roller hand solder, vice grip, tools. Over here, as you can see, I have all my books. Various books, stuff like that. I love using. I would say I read about 40% of these books. Some of these books I just will glance through for some information. Here I got another Craftsman bag, another tool bag. Here I have various tools all here. Which was cool about here, I can reach where if I back up, this is my breakdown bench. You know, I need the space, so this is where I have larger amps, power supplies, where I diagnose the power supply on this bench, and if need be, I can go to the solder bench. Here I can just pull wires over here and test various aspect of the amp, the receiver, whatever the case may be. If I have to take out a section of the board that needs to be troubleshot on this bench, I can do so here as well, because I have similar tools and devices which will allow me to check module circuitry if need be. Again, I like this table. This is the breakdown table here, where I have various cables hanging, dangling. As you can see, different cables that's needed for testing audio equipment, setting up test equipment over here. Back again, more cables. As you can see over here, just a little programming area where I need to program Python, C hash, C++, Java. Here, this is a shelf with other various parts, power supplies that need to be repaired, put to the side. 3D printer, regular printer. Over here is just parts, bins of parts, and bins here, and bins and parts. Maybe some more other stuff. Laptops that need to be repaired. Like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 laptops I need to open up, take parts out, various things here. So yeah, this is my, I have this test outlets, little stuff like this in there, cheaters, again, motherboards, more test devices for computers, wires, harnesses, parts, again, more parts. As you can see, parts everywhere. Have this here covering up the power cord coming in from the wall to here to the bench. I like this here. Heat sink device, always on charge. Area for discharging batteries between the garage and my hand tools. So again, this is a definitely every bench in here is functional. Every bench in here has a purpose, and every piece of test instrument has a purpose. Again, this table can move back and forth if I need to get closer to this rack here to wire up, but for the most time I can just basically move to the side. I'll put the audio generator to something, or I have a rolling cart with a receiver and a power amp if I need to roll it in here to get real world audio. Those are speakers on there and stuff like that. So yeah, I do audio, I do RF, I do power supplies, do a little bit of coding, not much. ChatGPT now really don't need much coding. You can just ask chat. But again, this is all the hardware stuff. I have the solder station. I'm so proud of this shelf right here. It's a dual purpose shelf. It houses most of the test equipment that I'm gonna be using right away while I'm standing working at this teardown bench here. If I'm prototyping, more precision work, I will sit here, use some of this equipment here, scope, 4-channel scope, signal spectrum analyzer, frequency counter, bench multimeter, which is great. Some are high-end brands, some are Chinese brand, but they work great, integrated together. I have no problem. I have, it works well. So I don't have any problems. So yeah, this is where where all the magic happens. No, I shouldn't say that. My wife will get mad. But this is where I like being. After work, I work in aerospace, and this is what I like to do. I like to read, continuing my education, going for my doctorate. Halfway through, so I'm happy. So this is where things happen. Again, this is Randolph Parker signing off. And that's my dog Geiger. She's going in the front door.